So in this video, I want to share with you guys 3 Thailand stocks, right, that you can potentially take a position in, just like any other normal Singapore stocks. And how do you do it? What are these 3 stocks? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier MyZelle trader in Phillip Securities, and all this while I've been talking about Singapore stock, US stocks, but most people actually don't know that in the Singapore market, in the SGX, you can actually buy some of the top Thailand stocks, Thai stocks, just like any other normal Singapore stocks. So I want to dive into these 3 stocks right now. We look at the charts, what are some of the levels to time your entry in, and by the time you watch this video, there would be 5 new Thailand stock that has been added into the exchange as what we call SDR. So how do we buy Thailand stocks on the SGX like any other normal Singapore stocks? Well, you can do it using what we call SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts, right, which pretty much tracks the underlying stock that is listed in the stock exchange of Thailand. But you don't have to go and buy the underlying, you can just buy it like any other normal Singapore stocks, right? So when you watch this video, I will be just covering 3 stocks in terms of their technical, their charts and what to do, but there will be 5 more new Thailand stocks that will be added as an SDR on the 1st of April. It will be launched, and that's where you could focus on. But that will be for another video another time, right? So let me cover the first stock right here, and this would be what we call Airport of Thailand. Airport of Thailand is right over here. You can see that the code of the underlying stock that is traded in the stock exchange of Thailand is AOT, all right? But you don't have to buy the stock that's listed in Thailand. You can buy the Singapore SDR. So I'll come to that in a bit, but let's just go ahead to analyze the underlying stock first. So what is AOT? What is Airport of Thailand doing? Well, Airport of Thailand is in the business of operating and managing the airports of Thailand. Pretty much that's the name, right? And it runs the restaurants, the duty-free store, the airline counters, the security check-in, the baggage, everything that that makes the airport run smoothly, right? So it's a play on the tourism sector, all right? And here it is, the chart right now. Price is about $65 Thai baht. So this is the underlying stock, $65 Thai baht. So you can see that I've pretty much drawn what we call this level right up here. This is what we call a resistance level, because all this while since last year or maybe 2 years back, we have found a pretty good support right over here, and that would be around that 66. You can see rebounded about 3 times, but finally somewhere around like November last year, we broke down the 66, went all the way down to the next support level around that 58. So 58 to 66 Thai baht, right? That is pretty much the range for Airport of Thailand right now. You can see it went up, came back down, swing up, came back down, and we have kind of like traded a little bit higher towards the 66 Thai baht level, right? So this level, 66 Thai baht, if you were to convert it to Singapore dollars, it would be about $2.50. Well, how do you do it? Well, very simple. Just take 66 times 0.038. That is kind of like the exchange rate right now. It would be about $2.50. So why do we need this? Well, because if you want to buy the Singapore SDR, I mean the Thai SDR that is listed on the Singapore exchange, it's like any other normal Singapore stock. It is in Sing dollars, and you can have a gauge based on this $2.50 as a resistance level, right? So what do I think about this stock? Well, as I mentioned, right, we have found some pretty good support right over here around that 58 Thai baht. So that's like about $2.20 Sing dollars. Yes, rebounded up as well, and we are approaching that 66 Thai baht. It seems like over the past 1-2 weeks we are hard pressed to kind of like stay above that 66 level, but we can see, right, I think the next 1 or 2 weeks, 1 month, if we can hold above that 66, maybe push up to 67, 68, there could be more upside. I would say maybe all the way up as it finds a new, I would say, to recover, maybe all the way up to like 75 to 76 level right over here. So that could become like the upside if we were to breach the 66, 67, 68 Thai baht level firmly, right? So right now it seems like sellers are still coming back to push it back down, and we're still below it, but we can see, right, because there are indeed some signs of the short-term trend turning up as well, just by looking at what we call the 20 days moving average. So this is the 20 days moving average, the green line, which was like all the way down. You can see we were trading down since September all the way to December, all right, and it broke the support as I mentioned, went all the way down, and finally the 20 days moving average started to reverse back up, right? Reverse back up, flatten up, reverse back up. You can see right now it is still pointing up, but we still need to get above that 66 level, all right? So this is a stock that you can watch, all right? AOT, Airport of Thailand, all right? And how do you do it? Well, let me show you guys in terms of the SDR, the Singapore stock, the SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts, right, into how, what's the price right now, how you can get it. And you can see that this 290, all right, is pretty much the resistance level because it is at about 76, so 76 Thai baht, times 0.038, that would be about $2.90. So let me take a look at the stock right now in terms of the SDR. Okay, so this is Airport of Thailand. So this is the underlying stock. You can see stock code is AOT, pretty much the underlying stock that is listed Exchange of Thailand, right? And we have the SDR right over here called Airport of Thailand. So TH stands for Thai. So TH space, TH stands for Thai again. So Thai SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts, which is pretty much like any other normal Singapore stock. You can just buy it like your banks and all that. All right, right over here, the code is TATD, right? So you can see the price is about $2.43 because based on the current underlying 65 and 50, you times 0.038 is slightly lower, so it's about $2.43. So as I mentioned, right, if it does break above that 66 level, it goes to like 67, 68. Of course, this SDR price will also rise up as well, and that's where it's good time entry, and you can get in on this SDR right over here, right? So let me move on to the second Thai stock that you can also think about taking a position in. Next Thai stock would be PTTEP. That is the underlying stock that is listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. And this company is a leading oil and gas exploration and production company in Thailand, right? So this is the underlying stock right here, stock code PTTEP. And let's take a look at the price right now. You can see that we are trading at about $152 Thai baht, right? 152. All right. And you can see that over the past like 1 to 3 months, we are in this range right here from like 145 all the way to 155. It has been pretty much consolidating. I mean, it was at a higher level since like September, October, and then you can see we kind of broke this support level, and that would be around the 155, right? So 155 has turned from like a support level. It was a resistance previously, so right over here, a resistance level, we broke above it, stayed above it, it became a support, we broke down, and you can see that this 155 would now be the resistance level, whereby we are still below, we are still attempting to break it, but it seems like sellers are pushing prices right down, right? So 155 with a support at about 145, right? So how do we take a position in this SDR? Well, simple. You can buy what we call the SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts. I'll share with you guys the code later, but in terms of the price conversion, right, based on 145 Thai baht, right, the times 0.038 is about Singapore dollars $5.50. Same thing, the resistance is about Singapore dollars $5.90. So if we were to break above this like 155 level, we may see the reversal happen a little bit faster, right? There could be more momentum all the way up to like 175 to 180 right over here, and that would be around the $6.85. So let's take a look at the SDR right over here. You can see PTTEP. All right, so it's about 152.50, which is below 155 as I mentioned, and you can see the price is about $5.64, right? $5.64. So if you go back to the chart again, you can see that 550, right? 550 would be the support level, after conversion to Singapore dollars. So now it is about $5.64, which is above $5.50. So if we do dip to near $5.50, maybe $5.51, 52, 55, 50 something, all right, that is where, all right, you could take a position, all right, in this SDR right over here called PTTEP space TH, stands for Thai space SDR. So for all the SDR, there is this SDR alphabet at the back, which means that there is the SDR, all right, and you can see this is traded in Singapore dollars. 5.64 is like any other Singapore stocks, Sing dollars. The code here is TPED. The third Thai stock I'll share with you with this company called CPO, all right, right over here, and it is trading at about 54 Thai baht, right? So this is a company that runs the 7-Eleven convenience store chains in Thailand, all right, something like what we have in Singapore as well. 7-Eleven is like pretty much everywhere, all right, and you can see it's pretty defensive stock, all right, whether there's an economic recession or not. I think people still go to 7-Eleven, all right, and you can see right over here that we have seen a little bit of selling over the past 2 to 3 weeks right at this level. So this is the resistance level in terms of Thai baht. That would be the psychological $60. Look at this, rebounded for the past like 1 over year. We were holding above this $60, but we broke down traded all the way down to around $50. So it's like $50 to $60. I mean Thai baht, right? So 50 to 60, that is the range. And thankfully, we managed to see some support coming back around the 50, right? So you can see we are kind of making our way back down. There is some short-term weakness in terms of the trend indicators. The 20 days moving average green line is starting to point down as well, right? So there could be an opportunity if it starts to dip back to the same support that we have rebounded about 2 or 3 times, and that level would be that 50 Thai baht. So 50 Thai baht times 0.038, you convert to Singapore dollars, well, that is about $1.90, right? So an upside targets could be drawn if it does hit there. You could ride it all the way back up to the same 60, about 18% upside, right? From 190 Sing dollars all the way to about $2.30. So let's take a look at the SDR right now for this company called CPO. All right, right over here you can see this is the one. All right, CPO, this is the underlying, all right, about 54 Thai baht. So if you look down right over here, this is the SDR, CP space or space TH SDR. So there's always an SDR word, all right, for Singapore Depository Receipts, and you can see the code right here is TCPD. So all these codes like TCPD, TPED, TATD, all right, you can just simply type the code in any of your trading platform. I'm a broker in Philip Securities, so you can just type it in your trading platform and you will be able to pull out that SDR as well. So it's about $2.03. You can see $2.03 right over here, which is above the $1.90. As I mentioned, right, $1.90 because we are somewhere, you know, making our way down. So it's $2.03 Singapore dollars. So if prices were to dip a little bit more to, you know, to below $2 to 195, 192, 93, that would mean that the underlying would have headed to near this level right over here. That would be the 50 Thai baht, and that's why you could potentially think about getting in again, especially if we see some bullish reversal candles or some signs of the trend turning back up again in the short term. That could lead the recovery back to 60 Thai baht, which would be Singapore dollars $2.28. So I've pretty much covered the existing 3 Thailand SDR, and by the time you watch this video, as I mentioned, right, there are 5 new Thai SDR that will be launched on the 1st of April 2024. And when you watch this video, the names of these 5 SDR, the 5 underlying stock that is traded on the Stock Exchange of Thailand, would have been made public, right? So what are these names? Let me just go to run through it with you again. You can see, so the first new SDR will be right over here, and the name is called Kasikorn Bank, pretty much Thailand's best domestic bank, all right, in the banking sector. The second will be AIS, which stands for Advanced Info Services, which is the largest telco in Thailand. It accounts for 6% of the entire SET, the Stock Exchange of Thailand Index, all right? And we have the next one will be Delta, right? The name is Delta Electronics. It is pretty much the largest company listed on the SET, and it is kind of like benefiting from trends of EV adoptions and also data centers, and kind of like electronics play, all right? Next one will be Gulf, right? The name is Gulf Energy, one of Thailand's largest gas-fired power and renewable energy producers. So it's a kind of like an energy play as well. It's about 4% of the SET index. And the next one will be Siam Cement Group, Thailand's largest materials and industrial conglomerate. All right, so these are pretty much the 5 new SDR Thailand stocks that will be launched on the SGX. You can buy a SDR from 1st April 2024 onwards. So essentially from 1st April 2024 onwards, there will not be just 3, all right, CPO, AOT, and PTTEP, which what we have gone through and analyzed the charts today. There will not be 3, but there will be 3 plus 5, which would be 8, right? 8 Thai SDR, which pretty much covers more than 40% of the SET 50 benchmark index. So these are what we call blue chip stocks in the Thailand Stock Exchange, right? And you can go ahead and think about how you can position yourself in them. So in the next few videos, maybe in a month, all right, that's where I will try to cover the best, all right, the more promising stocks out of these 8, and I'll share with you guys again, and you can see what you could do with the underlying SDR as well. So yes, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to here, and I hope you guys gain some value, all right, and some awareness on this thing thing called the SDR, Singapore Depository Receipts, right? And I've covered like 3 existing Thai SDR, PTTEP, CPO, and also Airport of Thailand as well. So I hope you guys are better acquainted with the levels for potential entry, all right? And yeah, when the new 5 SDR are launched, that's where we'll try to cover it again, right? And by the way, guys, if you want to find out a little bit more on like the strategy behind, you can attend one of those free webinars. I don't have time to explain the entire strategy, but you can attend one of those free webinars that we're still running, all right? And that's where I'll share with you guys a little bit more on the one good trend strategy and how you could apply it to not just Thailand stocks, but any stocks in the Singapore market, US market as well. All right, so Joey here. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you found this video useful. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.